Hey there guys, welcome back to Let's Play Danganronpa 2. Goodbye despair. Words, they're not working. We are about to discover the purpose of the Black Tarp.
And when you went back with everyone else, Kyoko's body was there too, right?
That is correct.
But it's possible that the body was just revealed at that time, when Kyoko was actually killed earlier.
Wow, Nagita's doing really well for not having known anything about the case a second ago.
Just revealed?
Of course, the body wasn't revealed on its own. The killer did that too. Here, I have proof.
That scrap of paper. Is that what we found in the baton lighting at the music venue?
Yeah, when your hamsters got to do something.
That's right, but just what is this scrap anyway?
That's a trap stuck in the baton lighting at the music venue. I should be able to figure out what it is. Oh, it's one of these, okay. I don't actually have any idea yet. I doubt it starts with a W. Okay. Wallpaper? Well, there's a lot of... I need a pee. You just took my pee. Damn it, stop! Stop! Shit. Oh, damn it, it's 8. I'm dumb. Okay, man, that was annoying. Not good at that game.
Part of the wallpaper in the storage room?
I don't know why you had to do the Hangman's Gambit to figure that out. We actually figured that out back before. We used all the stickers on it.
In the music venue storage room, there should have been black wallpaper that's the same color as that scrap. There was also a tear along the edge of the wallpaper, wasn't there? If so...
You're right. You overlay the scrap that was caught on the lighting, the tear in the wallpaper. See? It fits perfectly.
I see. So the scrap that was caught on the baton lighting was originally part of the wallpaper. And what's wrong with that? Does it have something to do with Kyoko's body disappearance?
Kinda.
A mere nobody like me isn't important enough to answer that. But if you guys were exceptional enough to identify that scrap of paper, you can figure this out easily.
Man, Nagito, calm down the worship a bit. The wallpaper found in the storage room. It's on the appearance of Kyoko's body. Tracing back from there, the answer should become clear. Alright, let's give this a try. I kinda like the logic drive. Alright. Vroom vroom, you guys. You get extra points if you go through them instead of between them. Crap. Crap. So much for extra points. It was hidden. For showing us. I thought that green thing was a good thing. Or blue thing. Blue, it's blue, it's blue. Them dumbs. Wow, this is a lot harder than last time I logic drove. They're making me work. The killer used to hide her body. I think they used a curtain to hide her body. And I am incorrect! I thought the wallpaper was just kind of used as adhesive with the stickers in order to hold the curtain. Jeez, game! This game is making me work. What is this, like, Rainbow Road stuff? How did the killer hide her body with the wallpaper? They formed a wall. No, they didn't. They should have. Oh, okay, I was actually thinking the opposite. Man, I'm about to lose this. I've only got like 5 more hits.
It's all coming together.
It is all coming together. I had the wrong explanation.
I got it. Hyoko's body was hidden before we found it.
But it would have taken quite a long time to tape up a hidden body.
No, the body was already taped up and the killer hid it, along with the pillar using the wallpaper.
What? They hid the pillar?
They masked the pillar even from your senses, Gundam.
Yeah, by wrapping the wallpaper around the pillar, the killer was able to create a slightly larger pillar. So when I first discovered Ibuki's body, Hyoko's body was already there.
Okay, that makes sense.
However, because it was concealed within a slightly larger pillar, I didn't realize that at the time.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, it makes sense that you'd notice Ibuki's body right away.
So they used the baton lighting on the ceiling to hang the wallpaper?
Yes, that makes total sense now. I was thinking it was like all along the baton, but no, it was just hanging from that.
Pillar. So using it to hang the wallpaper totally fits.
Then, the reason the wallpaper was covered in so many stickers was to make it look like that pillar.
That's how they hid Hyoko's body, and then peeled off the wallpaper as soon as I left the music venue.
But the killer made a mistake. He accidentally ripped off a piece of the wallpaper. And because of that, a scrap was left on the baton lighting.
Okay, that totally... Okay, yeah, that makes
Killer
sense.
must have been in a hurry. Their plan took too long. Hajime could have walked in on it.
But going to the trouble of hiding the body and the pillar is very bold.
Yeah, I don't know what the point of that was. Why did they...
But the crime itself would be much easier to pull off, since they don't have much to do while Hajime's gone.
That is true, and it could be used in order to point suspicion away from them.
They just have to peel off that wallpaper and stash it in the storage room. It's not that big of a deal.
Then, when was Hyoko actually killed?
Sometime well before
Good point.
Ibuki.
And on that note, it's about time we shed some light on those imitation murders.
You mentioned imitation murder more than once. But what is that?
Minomi, we're ignoring you. Have you not figured this out yet?
Are you kidding me? You haven't seen my masterpiece? The Wizard of Monami 2.5 D.
Hey, don't put my likeness in your movies without my permission.
You're pretty noisy for someone who eats mothballs.
That sounds like mothballs, but it totally says mothballs.
I don't eat mothballs. I just enjoy looking at them. I knew it. There are so many similarities. It must have been intentional.
Well, of course.
Ibuki's death by hanging matches the Scarecrow's death from the movie. Not just that, but Hyoko getting taped up after her death matches the lion's death.
It's as if both crimes were replicas of scenes from the movie, although the mutilated Tin Man was omitted.
But why did the killer go to all this trouble in the first place?
That is one thing I've never fully understood either.
Based on what we know, the reason the killer chose these imitations isn't that difficult to figure out.
Oh damn, my health is low.
I see! The reason the killer imitated 2 of the murders from the movie was so he'd mix up the killing order.
Then Hiyoko was actually killed before Ibuki?
Yeah.
A valid line of reasoning.
Yeah, it's valid. The condition of Ibuki's body suggests that as well.
What do you mean? If you're going to cry and beg like that, then I guess I'll hear about the condition of Ibuki's.
I didn't know what he was going for a second, because when I do these trials, I actually listen to them instead of read.
I'm not even crying.
I'll let you sob as much as you want later. Just hurry up and tell me before I change my mind.
What a jerk!
Oh, I see. You want me to explain it to you, right? Because you don't understand what I'm saying, right?
An even bigger jerk? Impossible!
Look, Ibuki died because she hanged herself.
That is quite correct.
That means when she was still alive, her feet were touching the floor.
What's wrong with that?
But it seems Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was killed. That would mean Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
How light. Your words are so light as the sylph's feather.
I'm really hoping Gundam doesn't kill in the next trial. Or isn't the criminal this one, because I really like his character. And they seem to keep killing off my favorite characters.
Your opponent is out of your league. It is too absurd to try to perplex me so inadequately.
Man, he's being annoying again.
First and foremost, you claim Ibuki's feet were touching the floor when Hiyoko was killed. How can a low-class creature with no psychic abilities like you know something like that?
Because she was doing something that's only possible if her feet were on the floor.
Walking?
It seems you suffer from a pathetic delusion.
You're one to talk.
Okay, point, Soda, point. If this goes, we're gonna talk circles. It doesn't clarify Ibuki's status when Hiyoko was killed. So this is obviously going to be the soles of her feet. Yeah. It's even starting me where I would need to
When
be.
Hiyoko died, Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
I am telling you to present your evidence.
Did you see her walking?
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
Boom.
I agree with that.
I should have let it play through, but I'm low on health and I want to like get it really quick and get my health back.
Just as Sonia said, Ibuki stepped on something. That something was blood. There were faint blood stains on the soles of her slippers.
That is not Ibuki's blood, right? She suffered no external injury.
That is quite correct.
Then it's Hiyoko's blood.
Hyoko's only wound was a fatal slice on her neck. And she died almost instantly, right?
If Ibuki stepped on her blood,
It means Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was mortally wounded. Which means Ibuki was still alive at the exact moment Hiyoko was killed.
Don't underestimate the power of the evil eye.
Oh god, this thing.
Is that it? A shepherd dressed in his Sunday's finest still reeks of lamb, Hajime Hinata.
Does that mean you have a rebuttal?
Does that mean you have a rebuttal? It's a good line. But are you sure you're sure? If I show you how serious I am, this world might be destroyed, you know. You're so frightened you can't even make a sound. It seems you've realized our difference in status. However, the time for conviction starts now. You better entertain me to the fullest.
Smudge on the floor.
You're saying the
That's not how I change those.
blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to Hiyoko? Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor.
Crap, that is
Step on
not.
blood that was never there. Just about what you see a nice nightmare. You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belong. Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor.
God damn!
You can't step on blood that was never there. Just about 1 minute. Did you see a nice nightmare? You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to... Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor.
There we go.
Cut through those words. That's not it. The reason there was no blood on the floor is because the killer wiped it away afterward.
Don't say such foolish things. You don't have proof of that at all.
Why is he protesting like this weirdly? Please tell me he's not the killer.
Yes,
He can't be the killer. Wait.
You look closely. There's a streak on the floor where blood was wiped away.
When the killer tried to hide Hyoko's body, they probably cleaned the blood at the same time, but Ibuki must have already stepped in it, and the killer probably didn't even realize it.
The reason they wiped off the blood on the floor was so we'd mix up the order of the murders, right? Even if they're able to hide Hyoko's body, it'd be bad if her blood was left out in the open.
That's quite true.
Plus, Ibuki's body was left out in the open, and it wasn't bleeding from any open wounds at all.
Hyoko's body was probably wrapped in duct tape to stop her bleeding. Actually, the bleeding will stop once the heart stops beating, so I don't think they had to go that far. Aside from Miko, none of us were aware of that fact, so the killer probably did not know it either.
So that very easily could be evidence that Mikan didn't do it.
Maybe a heater was running inside the music venue so it would screw with Mikan's autopsy?
That's right! I didn't know the time of death because of this.
But how would the killer know that would work?
The time of death wasn't mentioned in the Monokuma file, just to keep concrete evidence from us.
Yep. Since we have all this evidence, there's no one else who wants to object, right? Then it's decided. Hyoko was killed before Ibuki.
Bam.
It appears that it is wiser to retreat for now. Fine then, but regardless of good or evil, there's no deceit in upholding one's convictions.
Can't you
Gundam.
just shut up and back off?
Now then, let us resume our debate.
Wait a sec. There's something I want to run by Monokuma first.
Huh? Again? Didn't something like this happen last time too?
Yeah, but it worked out.
Hey, if the victim actually committed suicide, what are we supposed to do?
Huh?
The
Suicide?
same as always. You have to vote for who the killer is. Think about it. A suicide means you've killed the most important existence of all, yourself. Unfortunately, that means there's no Blacken to punish, but I guess in a pinch, I can always punish Monami.
Why me?
Because you resurrect.
Nagito? What do you mean? If the victim actually committed suicide?
I mean, it is possible that Ibuki killed... Well, no, it's... I mean, it would theoretically be possible that Ibuki killed Hyoko, but in this case that can't be, because Ibuki can't hang herself and then take the tarp down.
Well, I mean, I understand Hyoko's death. I'm wondering if Ibuki was really murdered. For example, it's possible Ibuki killed Hyoko, and then committed suicide due to a guilty conscience, right?
That's totally impossible! Then she never would have killed her to begin with!
She was afflicted by the despair disease, remember? That means anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
But if Ibuki's the killer, she wouldn't have been able to falsify the sequence of the murders, right? After Hajime saw the hanged body, the sudden appearance of Hyoko's body soon after means the killer had to be alive at that time.
Then she was alive! When Hajime first discovered Ibuki, she was just pretending to be dead.
No.
If she waited until Hajime left, that's when she could have made her move and mess with the crime scene.
She hanged herself, remember? There's no fucking way she could have faked that.
And if she was going to fake her death, I think she wouldn't have chosen hanging.
And why would she have done that and then killed herself anyway? She was like... Her symptom of this despair disease was to be super susceptible to... super gullible. Not to be sad.
Her body would have been defenseless in that state. If anyone touched her, that alone would have ruined her plan.
I see. So that means there's no doubt that someone killed those two. I'm glad. Now I'm free to search for the killer.
What the heck?
There's still one more issue on my mind. If Ibuki didn't commit suicide, just what was that video Hajime saw?
It was being susceptible to suggestion.
According to that video you saw, Ibuki was by herself when she climbed the stepladder, right?
That is correct.
Then does that mean someone forced her to do it?
Forced? Perhaps. They used hypnotism or something?
No, they used the spare disease. Guys, how did you all forget what this was?
I don't know anything about that.
Don't say it all proud.
Putting that aside, it seems obvious that the killer did something. So, maybe we should figure out who was able to do whatever that
You are
was.
so unconfident, Makan.
So, an alibi. Then our plan is to destroy the weakest alibi. Since Hajime has seen the video, it is clear what time the crime took place.
Because it doesn't seem like it's absolutely impossible to, fake the time of that. You can't record it and show it later.
But just to be sure...
Oh, well, there we go.
The surveillance camera doesn't have a record function, right?
It's a cheap-ass surveillance camera, you know? There's no way it'd have some kind of sweet recording feature.
Then, the video Hajime saw was actually live?
What time did Hajime see that video?
I saw it at the hospital, right before Monokuma's morning announcement.
So just before 8 a.m.
And I saw the body at the music venue a little after Monokuma's announcement.
So Ibuki hanged herself right before Monokuma's announcement. And since we established that Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki, that means the time that the murders occurred was before and during the announcement.
Then, we just have to find the person who doesn't have an alibi during that time?
Kinda.
Now then, I shall issue my decree. Let Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi commence.
I just had a flashback to Valkyria Chronicles. Hear my words and go into action, citizens of Rolance. Okay, Rolance was not in Valkyria Chronicles, but I can't remember.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement,
Okay.
I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed.
Okay, let's look at these. So the cons count. Yes, her specific says he didn't show up until later. So it'd be my cons count.
Can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
That doesn't prove that
I
wrong.
think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi,
Some
then...
people do.
No, that's wrong! Hold on. Not all of us are missing an alibi.
Yep.
In fact, Mikan and I both have alibis.
You two have alibis?
Oh no!
Up until I saw that hanging video, Mikan and I were actually together for a while.
We even woke up together.
Makan, don't say that.
Hey, what kind of situation is that?
Poor Kazuichi. Man, he and Teru Teru must have been fantastic friends, or could have been fantastic friends.
I accidentally fell asleep on top of Hajime. Too much info.
Yeah, it's not like that. It's She just came to tell me Nagato's condition had improved.
And we went to the hospital together afterward, so we were together until right before the announcement.
I get it. You guys have alibis.
You look so sad.
If that's the case, the killer must be someone else.
It's better if we think about it like that. The killer decided to falsify the murder sequence to hide the actual time of the crime anyway.
So it's inevitable that an alibi for both before and during the morning announcement would be very important.
It feels like Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has backed us into a corner instead.
This is why you're a princess and not a military commander.
But committing an imitation murder, is that really all it was? Faking the time the crime occurred by falsifying the murder sequence, hiding their alibi in the process? Was that the only reason the killer made both bodies imitate the movie?
I don't know where he's going with
Are you
this.
saying there was another reason?
I feel really bad for confusing you guys so much, but that's how I feel. I think the killer had a completely different reason for falsifying the murder sequence.
Not a different reason. If that's the case, are we still in the killer's trap? Inside a trap set by one of us. If so, then whose? What kind of trap is it? Wow, we're only like an hour in, and it's already to the halfway point.
Hiya!
Well, hello there! Mon ami, the moss balls sure look tasty today! Don't care if I mean someone who loves moss balls! And here's some chance time! Now then, Mon ami's appeal time starts now! Appeal time? Your kind-hearted big brother's gonna give you the chance to reclaim your honor! Good luck! Show those jerks who treat you like a red-headed stepchild who's boss! That's 99% your fault! While you're whining, your time's already running out, so please make your appeal simple. About 30,000 words or so. What the hell? That's too long. It'll just be a boring appeal. Come on, if your appeal's successful, there might be merchandise opportunities heading your way. I'm Usami, magical miracle girl star. Usami, I'm an itty-bitty girl who's sweet like milk. I thought a certain robot's little sister was supposed to be the best.
What a disappointment!
Sorry, you're not Mega Man, she's not Roll.
Who
Who are you talking? I have no clue whatsoever. I would like to save my current progress. And I said I would stop and take a break whenever I got to this, but it's only been an hour. And I actually just finished up, like this is the third episode I've recorded today, so I'm actually good to keep going. I will try not to be grumpy whenever we get to the end of this. Try.
I'm Monami. Once again, I've been put in such an unreasonable situation. Seriously, he's like the king of unreasonableness. Why did it turn out like this? We were supposed to have a fun, friendly school trip, but it turned out all bloody instead.
But yeah, but the game would be really boring without Monokuma.
No, this definitely cannot be allowed. That's why I want you to remember this. Everyone, do your very best. Don't lose to yourself. And don't forget to save frequently.
The reason the killer did an imitation murder. Is there a reason other than falsifying the murder sequence? Does something like that even exist?
Huh.
And
Suddenly got quiet in here.
I forgot I didn't have to voice act.
Did I confuse you? If so, I wish I could die from self-loathing.
Man, this again.
If that's the case, it would have been just dandy if they had gone ahead and killed me too. If that happened, the imitation would have been perfect. So why didn't they do that?
Well, it's against the rules to kill 3 people in the first place.
That rule is too harsh. I couldn't get killed because of that.
The keto.
Seriously, just shut up already! Shut up forever!
But I'm thinking about it again, and he's totally right. It feels incomplete.
Because they didn't kill 3 people like the movie did? That's It's only because of Monokuma's rule.
That rule didn't even exist at the time.
It's not just that. Come on, try to remember the content of the movie. About the lion that got killed second.
That's the one Hiyoko's body was imitating.
And
right?
yeah, there were arrows involved.
Even though we're calling it an imitation, the lion was actually pinned by arrows, right? But Hiyoko's body was suspended by common household duct tape. Maybe they just used a common substitute because it was too difficult to imitate the arrows. Well, that's probably it, but that attitude is what makes this feel incomplete.
Yeah, freaking Toko would never settle for this. Granted, she would never imitate a murder other than her own anyway.
If falsifying the murder sequence was the killer's plan from the very beginning, they should have taken steps to properly imitate it.
Nothing worse than a lazy killer.
But if we never realized it was a half-assed imitation, their entire plan would have been completely useless.
What are you trying to say? Are you saying the imitation wasn't planned?
That, I don't know where they're going with this, but I'm very curious to find out. Unfortunately, it looks like we will have to find out next time. When ending episode 2 of the trial, join me in about 30 minutes when episode 3 will be posted. See you next time, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in.